Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. Super excited to share with you an op shop haul and vintage shop haul. I went to Townsville this week, and since Townsville is about 2.5 hours away, about 3 hours if there's roadworks and stops along the way, you really make the most of it when you go to Townsville, because here in Bowen there's not much. Small country rural town, so anytime you go to like Mackay or Townsville, which is the next like proper town with shopping centres and things like that, you really make a day out of it, and you go to as many shops as you can and stock up while you can. So we found this strip where there were five second-hand shops. So there was one vintage antique place called the Speckled Hand first, and then 4 shops afterwards were all op shops. So that was a great find, and I'm going to share with you what I found at those places. So first of all, I actually found my very first Duffy's Diary magazine in an op shop. So I found this edition, number 2 from 2020, and I thought I'd grab it because they're just always so useful. Love these pages. I've obviously shared a flip through of this before on my channel when I got this in 2020, but yeah, the pages are beautiful. I'll have fun cutting those up, turning them into journal gifts and using them in my own journaling. I especially love these book pages. I want to put these in another inspiration collage journal because I just love these dresses made out of books, and yeah, really, really cool. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then let's have a look here. Where do I start? Okay, so at one op shop I found 4 Helen Steiner Rice books, and again, if you've watched my channel for a while, you would have seen these books appear because I found these at various op shops and vintage places over the years, and have made some faith journals or prayer journals out of these before, and so they're always wonderful to use. They're poetry books, so I love looking for poetry books with this kind of layout, and especially because you can kind of write around the poems. I love the flourishes and the florals, the illustrations. Yeah, really pretty. So that one I've gotten before, as I have this one, and I love when you find little things like that tucked inside these books. So that one, yeah, I've used before as well. This one is a new one. I haven't seen this one before, so I think I'm going to make some motherhood journals out of this one. This one's got some coloured illustrations that look more like watercolour type of painting. So these are really nice to add a bit of colour to the journal as well as beautiful sentiments. And this one is my favourite one. I've never seen a big one, a big version, and oh my gosh, this is my absolute favourite one, especially because it's got the big pages. I prefer pages that are this size to put into journals, but it's got kind of colour illustrations mixed with these ones, and they're florals, and I love them. So these could go into botanical journal as well. I really love this book, and this is why you have to open books, because from the outside, like, it doesn't look like anything to me in terms of looking for books for junk journals, but once you open it, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I opened it, because this, who knew that they would have such beautiful illustrations? Love it. This is the perfect book for junk journals in terms of what I'm looking for the pages. Yes, I love it. Okay, so those 4 books all came from one op shop, and then let me show you these books. These all came from the vintage antique place, the Speckled Hand, and let me just show you these. Okay, so I'll start with these ones because these were outside and I've already had one of these before. So again, if you watch my channel for a while, I made some journals out of this one book, and I loved it. I love the illustrations. It's had its fair share of wear. That's why we junk journalists can give new life to these books and why it's so fun. So it's got Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Snow White, and just Disney, cartoon illustrations. So I'm very much looking forward to making some more journals out of this theme. Again, fun things tucked inside. I was going to say, I have seen this before at op shops as well. I didn't get it every single time I've seen it, just because I'm not in the mood to do this theme, or it was too close to since I made those other journals. Like, I love the Cinderella illustrations. But it's been forever since I've worked with this book. So when I saw it again, I was like, yeah, I really want to work with this book again. And I think since I've done my inspiration collage journal, that's another reason why I've got this book, because I want to use some of these pages for me this time. And like, I grew up on Disney, so these are really meaningful to me. So I'll probably put some of these into my own journal. So yeah, that is, here's Snow White. And there's some cute bear ones. But yeah, that's that one, Fantasyland. This one, I got a new one. I haven't seen this one. Stories from Other Lands, but I love this. This one sold me, the Mary Poppins. I'm not even a Mary Poppins fan, but that was a classic from my childhood. I never really liked the movie. Not that I ever had anything against it, I was just really bored. Like, I wanted to like it. Everyone around me liked it, and I know it's a classic, so I really wanted to like it, but I always just found myself so bored. Halfway through, that's when I kind of stopped watching. But I love A Spoonful of Sugar and all that. And the concept is really fun. Like, when she pulls all those things out of her bag, that was my favourite part. But after that, I was bored. Anyway, but I really love the concept, and this, I want to make a Mary Poppins journal. Like, look at these illustrations. I love them. And every kid went through this rite of passage in my childhood at school to be able to say the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There was the moment where I couldn't say that word, and then the moment where I could, where I crossed over, and then I was quote unquote cool. Same with the word like sarcastic. That became the buzzword when I was like in grade 3 or something, or whatever, grade 2 or 3. And at first I'm like, what does that mean? And everyone who knew the word, they were all like, oh, you're dumb because you don't know what that word means. And then when you learnt it, you felt like you were so cool. Isn't it childhood funny? Anyway, I really love the Alice in Wonderland pages too. That's a very sentimental story from my childhood. Some of these pages I'm not so into, but yeah, I got it. Especially what sold me actually was not just the Mary Poppins page, but this page here. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? And there's another one over here. Adorable. That sold me. So yeah, that's that book. And then these two, I'm always looking for vintage French books. So I was so excited when I found some vintage French books in the shop. These two. Again, a bit worse for wear. The great thing is that we're going to... Oh, yes, the card. I kept the card from them. Oh, I should show you. The Speckled Hand Antiques. So Flinders Street, Townsville, that's where all of these shops were on that one strip. So yeah, I love these vintage pages. Love it, love it, love it. And I just use these for pages in French journals to make French ephemera, to tuck into pockets, because I just love authentic French vintage papers. My favourite. And that book, I could probably do something to that, recover that spine, add some lace there or something, and keep this, because I want to preserve that as much as possible and maybe do something with that. Anyway, this one, again, falling apart, but love that vintage look. And this one is like a first French course, so it has these types of pages that I love with more set out differently. So rather than a novel or something, Oh, actually, that looks like a play. I can't read French, so this is awesome too. This looks like a play. This one's like grammar. Like, I just like the different layouts. So when I'm looking for vintage French books, I look for anything, but rather than novels where you just get this block of text, I prefer these kind of things like plays, poetry, grammar, readers, that type of thing. So these are great. These are going to be great. And then I wasn't going to get this one because the cover isn't that great. I mean, I'm going to repurpose that too. I'm really into repurposing vintage books at the moment. But what sold me on this book was all of these things tucked in, like this, and pressed flowers. Like, it's so old that the pressed flowers have lost all colour. But I even love just how it's dyed the other pages. And there's so many. I'm not going to be able to find them all in this little quick flip, but you'll be able to see, yeah, and even like paperwork. Like, I love it. From a nursery, that one's from. Like, even this cool vintage card, Wildflowers of Australia. And this, like, how cool is that? How cool is that? So I love the history that someone put stuff in here, and so cool. There's even a butterfly in here. I'm actually not quite sure how I feel about this. It's kind of makes me feel sad. And let me know how you feel about that. If you're like, wow, what a find, or if you're like a bit creeped out like I am. I'm kind of a mix. Half of me is like, that is so cool that someone did that. But the other part of me is like, oh, that poor butterfly. Anyway, so I also love the pages here. Oh, this was my favorite thing. This is the one that really, really sold me. I found my first vintage receipt, you guys, with the beautiful script writing, the letterhead, and typewritten up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I found my very first vintage receipt in an antique store. Oh, but I also love the pages where there is, let me see if I can find it. Like these are really cool, these images, but these ones, there's quite a few pages where it's like got these black and white illustrations, so those are perfect for journals, maybe even to make some ephemera journal cards and things. And, you know, gardening and florals, nature, that's a theme I'm always using constantly, so I can use these vintage pages again to make ephemera and put into botanical journals. So it wasn't just all of this, the history that I fell in love with, it was the pages that I can definitely make use of. So that's that one. And then at another op shop, I found some doilies. I love looking for doilies, embroidered linens. So we've got this strawberry one. Love strawberries. I love this gorgeous one with the lady. The embroideries with pretty dresses are some of my favorite embroideries. But I love that on the other side we've got a windmill as well. There's flowers. This is stunning, you guys, with the roses. I haven't found an embroidery like this ever, where it's so solid. And the blue, that is stunning. Imagine that on a journal cover or something. I've got such a huge collection of linens. Eventually I'm going to do something with them. I really want to make some soft fabric cover journals with them. That's what I've been wanting to do from the very start, since I've been collecting these. I just got to do it. One day I will, and maybe make some tags out of them or some journal cards, because I've really got so many now, like they're overflowing from the box. That one's really pretty, sorry, with the purple, really sweet. And then this one here with the yellow flowers, a bit of a different style, but still pretty. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that op shop haul and vintage antique shop haul. I had so much fun. All stuff for my business, Willow Bound Journals, so I'll be making some more journals. Hopefully you will see them quite soon, and working on some vintage French, the fabric linen ones, and oh, just so much fun. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to journal your life because your stories matter. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in July and allowed me to work full time on this channel for yet another month. If you would like to become a patron in August and get access to videos, printables and sneak peeks, first access to all my creations, at the Ruby tier you get every single digital kit from my Etsy plus a new one every month. There's also personal updates and behind the scenes looks, so feel free to sign up. The link is down below in the description box. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in July and allowed me to work full time on this channel for yet another month. If you would like to become a patron in August and get access to videos, printables and sneak peeks, first access to all my creations, at the Ruby tier you get every single digital kit from my Etsy plus a new one every month. There's also personal updates and behind the scenes looks, so feel free to sign up. The link is down below in the description box.